All right, so I just wanted to talk to y'all a little. I live around San Antonio, and I know two people. I know two people that are cops. One's in San Antonio, and another one's a cop in. He's a county cop. He's like dog patrol or something like that. Has a dog that comes with him for drugs and stuff all the time. But so I called the guy in San Antonio, and he hasn't had any knowledge of anything about that happening in Uvalde. My neighbor, the Comal cop, he told me a couple things, because I went and showed him the video, and I guess I'll post that video here. A lot of y'all probably already seen it. The parents kind of freaking out, like, hey, why aren't y'all doing anything?
We're taking care of shit, he ain't done yet. He's not good. Y'all should have fucking changed that motherfucker like that. What the fuck you doing to him? Let him go. Give him, parar, güey. He's shooting.
Well, there's a couple of things going on. One of the things being the Comal, the cop, told me that there was more casualties than the news is letting on. You know, they're just kind of focusing on the children, but the guy that did this horrific stuff, so including him, there were 40 casualties, not just 22, I think. So there were like 40 people injured during this mass shooting. So of course, like 22 were that we know of. You know, the kids, the grandmother, and the teachers, right, and then the shooter himself. So that leads like 10 to 15 people that are, and then there was two cops that they talked about. Well, this guy was freaking loaded down, dude. He really was. And I was talking to that neighbor cop friend of mine, and I've got some stories about it. And he was telling me that there was nothing easy about this. There was, I mean, it wasn't that this, that this kid didn't think about, really, because, he says he may have gotten all of his training from video games, but he was able to pinpoint people and freaking shoot them, and not to mention, but he would, okay, so he was a trans, like, not a trans, but a, he liked to, he dressed very effeminate, but he would carry boxing gloves around and said, hey, we can settle this. And so the kid was fit, because he would freaking, he was a small, he was, really like a skinny stature, but he was fit. He fought people just to fight them. Okay, so we're talking about someone that didn't have any kind of military experience other than this this inbred tactical knowledge that this anger cultivated in him. And so there was a total of 40 people, 40 casualties, and 22 of them died, okay, in this incident. So it's not like it's a, I've got a picture, and you're not hearing this on the news, because some of those casualties were like Good Samaritans and different types of law enforcement, like, like there were 3 school officers that were shot, okay? And then there was some Uvalde police that were shot because my neighbor said that they were asking for volunteers to go down there and patrol until they rebuilt their police force, because they're predicting that a lot of them aren't going to go back to being cops. So everyone's going to be hard on these police officers, and you know, I'm sure that there's a fault of training. There wasn't enough training for these guys. And then, you know, and then the school, they only had that, you know, like a 3.5, 4 foot, like a chain link fence going around it. You know, an 8 foot fence, chain link fence would have slowed that kid down a lot, you know? And, you know, with like a magnetic gate. I mean, that's what they do with criminals in prison. So I have pictures of, the 40 casualties is on the net at Wikipedia. Okay. And I'll post a picture of it. And that there's 40 casualties and 22 of them died or something to that effect. Okay. But if you look up on Wikipedia and you research this kid, you will find out that he was very violent, and you know, and he liked to, and apparently he liked to cross dress. I mean, I don't know, maybe he didn't like to cross. Maybe everyone perceived it as cross dressing, but he was like an emo, kind of like he liked to wear eye makeup and all that stuff. He liked to wear that too. His mother he doesn't, I guess he doesn't know his father, or his father doesn't see him, but his mother, is apparently like has problems. You know, she's someone who has drug addiction, I think, is what I'm gathering. And then his sister, who the neighbors of the grandparents said was actually more of a problem than this kid was prior to this shooting. So apparently the thing that set him off was that he wouldn't be able to graduate, and so he just dropped out. And you know, he got frustrated, and you know, and that's just screwed up what he did. So there's a lot of stuff coming out, and it'll be coming out. So don't judge too quickly. My wife's calling me. So I kind of looked up. He got some. Apparently, he had 2 AR rifles. I'm hearing, or an AR type rifle and a pistol. But I heard 2. That's what I heard. 2 AR rifles that he went into this school with. And they were from, and I hear that they were from Daniel Defense. There's no way for me to verify that. There's no way for me to verify that he had body armor, but you know, that right, the body armor alone is a $500 price tag. Okay. And if it is Daniel Defense Weapons, well, you know, it's roughly about a $2,000 rifle. Okay. So, someone could say that it was just that's what it was. There's no way, I guess, of knowing. But I mean, we can verify that stuff and kind of, you know, stipulate that, hey, maybe this guy, you know, maybe he had some help, you know, just on the price tag alone. Okay. We do know that if he were to purchase this stuff, that his grandfather said that he did not have a driver's license. So he had to have a Texas ID at least to get these guns if he were to buy them. Okay. And the next thing was, did he do it on credit? Did he do it on or pay cash? But I'm hearing credit. So none of this stuff is making sense, man. So anyhow, So you got 22. So 22 out of 40 people are accounted for. Okay, so you got about 17 to 18 people that were either innocent bystanders, good Samaritans with guns, or and then finally law enforcement. And those law enforcements make up the Border Patrol, Special Reactions Team. You have the school police, and then you have the Uvalde police, and then probably the county sheriffs or something like that, sheriff's office, that were involved with this. And I guess the biggest hit to it was the Uvalde police. Okay, just kind of wrapped up in it because I used to drive. Man, I'm suffering so bad with tree pollen allergy right now. I mean, it's horrible. It's real high right now. But my dad had a ranch in Dilley, and he had a ranch in Cotulla. So we used to drive through Uvalde all the time, or drive near it. I used to do a lot of archery competitions, and I used to do a competition in Del Rio. It was a good one, so I went to it a lot. And I used to drive through Uvalde all the time and eat barbecue. I'd stop and eat barbecue. There was a place there had a good like a chopped beef barbecue. And then also I'd drive through there to go fish in Three Rivers during the white bass run. Or I'd go to Georgetown or George West, and I'd drive through Uvalde. So this kind of resonates with me. But Uvalde, everyone's like, well, why is a Border Patrol in Uvalde? Well, Uvalde, there's always Border Patrol there. I mean, you've got to think that you have this buffer zone of people, and you've got these traffickers, and and sometimes it's hard to slow them up, and so the border starts where the regular border is, and this buffer zone ends like just south of San Antonio, and like South San Antonio, it's like going to Mexico. It really is. It's just the mix of people that are there, So there's a lot of Border Patrol in Uvalde. Every time I go by there's Border Patrol everywhere. It's a nice community, but the fact is it's not really a true border town, but it's a border town. There's lots of trouble that can get there, but there's a lot of questions about this shooting, and I'll try to do what I can to stay on top of it. I mean, it's not like I'm interested in it. I'm interested in it because there's just all these questions to be answered. I might run down there and just kind of look at the area, kind of like what I did in Roma, and just showed you all the border noise. But y'all take care. Thanks.